Hi, everybody. I'd like to talk to you about prepping for summer. And this is usually an unusual topic for this channel, but I think it's very important. There's a long list of activities that are going on in the world, and a lot of things that can happen between summer and winter and fall, rather, between the warm and the cold season. And I think it's time that we start addressing those things and get you guys where you need to be and get you to where you know what's going to go on this summer. Uh, Life happens fast, people. Our families come, they change a little bit, and then they go. Some are graduating, some are dying, some are getting married. And this actually happens a lot during the summer months. It's where people kind of get away from that winter stress, and life happens a lot more when you can actually move around. So, from the all night bonfires, whether you keep it civil or not, the beaches, to your everyday routine, I think we can all say that majority of us do most of what we like to do during the warmer months. Yeah, there's stuff to do in the winter too, but so before everything starts happening, and I know some of it has for most of us. My family got hit hard. One of my uncles actually passed away about a week ago. It was a guy you wouldn't have thought would have gone first. He was a good guy, always a life of a party, always happy to see everybody. And it's really kind of sad to see him go. Um, I didn't know him very well. I seen him about 2, 3 dozen times in my life. But he always took the photos at the weddings, and he was retired from Ford, and he did some photography and journalism on the side. Made his money with an LLC, I believe, doing that. Um, Had a good life. He was only like 73, 74, and he didn't look anywhere near it. So I kind of wonder what, you know, the way the world's going, folks. It's almost weird to see who goes when and everything else. So love the ones you're with now, because when this is over, you know, I think you get time with them in other lifetimes and everything, but sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. I don't know. I imagine it's all got to be mixed up at some point. I don't think we're spending the same time with everyone each lifetime, but hey, I don't know. So, preparing for summer means a lot of things. Means getting out more, getting moving, whether that's weight loss, tanning beds, finding that swimsuit that, makes you look the way you want, or the trips the family will take this year, whether it's camping trips, going away to special youth camps, or uh, uh, regular go away camps, wherever you're going to send them. Whether or not you're planting gardens, your flower beds, taking your dog for a walk more. These are definitely the times, folks, to remember everything and everyone in our lives. And right now, things are actually quite serious in the world. And, I'm trying not to lead this to one of my other channel's topics, but there's a lot of stuff happening from earthquakes to natural disasters. And if you are sending your family away this summer, make sure they have the appropriate gear to get a hold of you when they need to and, to get home when they need to. Having fun at the beach or the lake is important. I think it is. That's where the all the fun usually happens. You play safe, play hard, use sunscreen, everything else. Maybe even dig a little bit in the ground and have a nice bonfire outside on the beach if you're allowed. That's always great with 15, 20 friends or whoever you can find. So whether you're doing your garden or at the, lake, beach, ocean, whatever your deal is, it's always good to have something. And, prepping for summer, coming back to that focus, is really what April and May are about. They're getting everything started, finding out who has, the sports camps, who has, after school activities, who has the sporting events, and really planning everything in advance because summer goes by so quickly, you almost have to plan it in advance. Let's see here. My family's gotten 2 invites for graduations, had 1 funeral already, and so far no weddings, but who knows? I'm guessing there'll probably end up being 1 wedding. There's always 1 wedding and 1 major graduation, but everybody I know in my family's graduated from where they're going to be. And they're at an age where, you know. So, where I want to go with this, folks, is there's a lot of stuff happening in this world today. And I'm not going to start mentioning things, but with the earthquakes we're having, all the volcanic activity, all the potholes in the road, all the accidents, all the police shootings, everything else, it's almost getting to a point where you don't know if your loved one's going to come home. You just don't. And, there you raised them, you're sending them away or they're going down the street or whatever, and you're going, any number of things can happen nowadays. And that's it. It's over. It's getting to a point where, we're actually wondering whether or not, our time is near. We wonder if this is our last summer. We wonder if everything's going on. And, I remember going camping when I was younger. 13, 14, 15, had a buddy whose family had a little, 50-acre lot in a campground up north. We'd take 4 or 5 hours to get there. And, we'd go with him, 5 of his cousins or friends of the family, whatever. We'd be there for 2-3 weeks. I wouldn't think of anything. 2 very good-looking chicks. I think their names are Heather and Alicia. Alicia has passed. It's unfortunate. I think she passed in, I want to say 2004, but I'm not actually certain. And, these are the times, folks, and things are changing so fast, we don't know whether or not we're going to be around. And, my uncle died. He was 73, 74. I'm looking at my parents at 62, maybe, like 61, 62, and I'm going, wow. Things are just happening too quick, man. You know, all you kids out there, if you're watching this, who think you have all the time in the world, could be snatched from you, and any number of things. And in this world today, we're seeing that more and more every single day. You know, we don't know if our family is going to be there tomorrow. We don't know if something's going to go wrong at the beach, and you know somebody's going to get in trouble, and somebody's going to say something, and then you know something really bad's going to happen. You know, these changes in weather we're having are caused by so many things. I mean, a tornado can come through a campground, an earthquake can happen. Uh, there's so many things. I have two nieces and nephews that are going up to Canada for the summer for some camp up there with their church. And, you know, before they could go up there the whole summer, nobody cared. Okay, I don't think it was a whole summer. It's like 4 weeks, I think. And being a U.S. citizen, nobody cared. You know, they were minors. They went up there, great. This year, they had, I think it was 4 pieces of paper filled with things they needed, a passport and a visa, I think. And, like, just lists and lists and lists of new things they can't bring, they can bring. And, you know, they want these kids to have the same experience their kids had, and they're not gonna. So they're basically gonna grow up to be like half people. You know, to not know what a swinging off that tire is gonna be into the open lake, you know, and counting the seconds before you hit the bottom, or the water rather, you know, racing to the swing and jumping on it and seeing if you can go 20, 30 feet in the air and jump off it. You know, I remember when I was little, I was awesome. These kids today can't get away with a quarter of what we used to get away with. I remember this one time we were at camp. It wasn't anywhere, you know, where the family has a place now or anything, but we were on the beach one time. I think it was with my buddy. I think this was actually with my buddy and his 2 female cousins. And they were sun tanning. They had met 2 or 3 other girls there. You know. We ran up. We stole their bras, their bikini tops. We took off. Now that'd be a felony each, and you'd be, whoo. You know, it was a harmless prank. It still is a harmless prank, but one place would charge it as a misdemeanor, another one would be, you know, it's civil, and then you'd wonder if the chicks would go crazy over it. Yeah, I remember a time we, as kids growing up, my sisters and I had just a run-of-the-mill water gun fight. You know, nothing major. We were chasing everybody around. Everybody was playing with squirt guns. And we were just running around. And they went into the bathrooms they weren't supposed to go into. Well, they went in there. We may or may not have gone in after them. And the floors got soaked. Okay, realistically, then, 1980s, 1990s, no big deal at all. None. Now, the liability is through the roof and everything else. And the lady who called, she actually called the Wayne County Sheriff's Office on us. And, you know, everybody was like, dude, it wasn't even that serious. It was a water gun fight. But this is what this lady liked to do. She liked to cause the trouble. So, you know, we spent, you know, better part of almost an entire day mopping up a freaking floor with the paper towel nonetheless. Yeah, they didn't give us a mop. Oh, no. A mop you could just grab, move around a little bit, you know, and then take it outside or a bucket and just squeeze it dry, you know, something like that. No, no, no. You know, I remember times when I was little, just stupid shit that would have been fun. You know, I remember this one time, this girl down the street from me. All right, girl down the street, about 2 houses down. Can't remember if it was at the current place or when I used to live in another part, but we were all kids, we were all playing around, and we were all swimming. She took my trunks, she ran inside. Okay? Now, she took my trunks, and she ran inside. Okay? So, I had to run inside also. Well, okay, now listen. We were all kids. It was all civil. Everything was good. Yep, you're getting to it. You are correct. Yes. So, I say, fuck it, and I go running inside. Well, she's running in. I'm running in. There's her dad. I forgot to grab a towel. He didn't like me anyways. Hey, she took my suit. And she had it in her hands too, so she couldn't lie about it. Oh, man. You know, nowadays that would be, oh my God, it would be blown out of proportion big time. Oh, that guy didn't like me anyways. So anyways, you know, we all had the experience of having fun when we were growing up. You know, we didn't need permission slips for this or special forms to fill out if you wanted to have sex with somebody. That said, you know, a non-disclosure agreement for all these things. You know, it was basically go with it until you say no. You didn't say no? Cool. You know, nowadays, before you get married, you know, you got to go through, like, I think if you do it right, last thing I saw, it was like 4 or 5 different lists of things. There's genetics tests, there's, you know, background checks. You got to have that before you start messing around with somebody. Oh. You know, the new thing is, you know, these women nowadays, you can't tell how old everybody is. I mean, as long as they got a full body and they fill out a bathing suit, no. 2 forms of identification. Preferably one of them passport and one of them state ID. That's my rule. It's always, well, that's my rule. It's my rule, and I'm sticking to that rule. And things are not the way they used to be, folks. 1 second, I have to plug in my battery for this, guys. Don't worry about the paper. I don't think the paper's about this one. So, if you're starting to prep for summer, ladies and gentlemen, prep for safety as well. You never know what's going to happen. You don't know who's coming back. You don't know when. You don't know where. You don't know why. You don't know how. All right. Sooner or later, this all ends, and we probably start again. And, you know, it doesn't matter if you're a sinner. It doesn't matter if you're not. You know, you can use all the sunscreens you want. You're still going to get cancer if you're eating the wrong foods, if you're in the sun too long, if the food you eat is contaminated with the GMOs and the poisons that it actually is. Uh, I had a female friend, best lady I ever knew, woman I thought I was gonna marry. 8, 9, 10, 11 years I knew her straight. Kind of like the white buffalo, if you know that story. The one that got away. That you're still going, what? How did that happen? And she went boating one summer. It was her, some of the people she grew up with in the Bahamas. They took her grandfather's boat out. She jumped overboard, did some snorkeling. They followed her in there. Something happened, a wave, you name it. And all they saw was blood. Honest to God story. Can't make this up. They were probably an hour from the coast. And this was what they had. I mean, I have hundreds of stories, folks, about every season. But it seems like spring and summer seem to be the one where you lose people. And luckily they didn't lose this chick. But unfortunately, when she did come back, she was going through a depressive time. And she made a shitload of bad decisions right before that. And it was one of those situations where she ended up in the military because she wanted to get her life straightened. And this was a girl, honestly, today, if she walked through the door and everything was good, we'd run off to a chapel right now and get married. It would have been that simple. And, I couldn't do shit for this chick when this happened. About the time I got to her, she had already signed up for the military. This was like the chick I knew since I was 10, 11, 12. To the time I was about 24. This was honestly the chick. And today I still walk around in my head going, why the hell aren't we married? I mean, at least God should have let it happen, and then if it wanted to not go well, great. But what happened to this chick was over that summer she had a bunch of bad things happen to her. She ran off to the military. As soon as she got out of basic, she ended up with one guy. She came back home. We all sat down. We all talked about it. I put the ring forward, and she was hesitant about it. She came back with a baby, and she was already engaged to some other guy. So it was a clusterfuck all the way around. And I know these videos are supposed to be about happy times and cool shit, and yeah, I know it's all about the vegetables over here. I wasn't thinking about what to put there, but these things are really important, folks. And these are the times that everybody will remember, because when you finally go, when it is your time, you want everybody to have no burden that you're gone. Just like you walked out the door and are waiting for them. That's it. You don't want to leave them with crazy bills. You don't want to leave them with, hateful thoughts. You want to go, hey, you remember that time that guy or that gal? That was awesome. And that was it. And, the trips you go on right now, whether you're planning for the whole family to go to Disney, planning to go camping, you got graduations already on the books, funerals or weddings, do yourself a favor. If you don't got to take the entire family, don't. You know, most of the people in the family don't know those people like you do, and it's actually a burden if it's possible to leave them home, to just leave them home, because it's actually a burden on them to do this. You know, this uncle that I had, or yeah, the uncle that I had passed away, it was actually a 50-50 for me. I went to the visitation. I did not go to the funeral. I kind of regret not going to the funeral, but she had him cremated anyways. And I'll be honest, everybody in that room said he was there. I'm not even kidding. I'm not kidding. Even in the light, there was like this weird ass image. Everybody's like, look at that. What is that? It looked like a guy standing there with his suit, with his hands crossed like this. I don't know if that's intentional, if that was some kind of hologram, or if something was actually there. But everybody would walk by this one spot, and for a minute they'd be like, "You see that?" And sure enough, it looked like him. And it was almost like a shadow, but it was there sometime, and then it was gone. And we tried to get photographs, and I don't know how it came out on them, but tell you what, everybody said he was at that funeral, at that visitation. And you could really feel that when the person's there versus they're not there. I've had two active, I hate to use the word ghost, but two very big situations involving pets that have died. And the pets are, one of them we know has passed, one of them we still kind of believe is lingering or is still here. Our dog of 13 years of age, no, she was 15, almost 16 years of age. Her name was Jules. And she died. We had her cremated as soon as her urn came back home. That night, I kid you not, we heard barking. My dad said, "What's that?" I said, "It's a dog. She wants to go out." Just as if she had always gone out. We opened the door. You heard her go out. We heard a bark to come in. I shit you not. It was like that for about a week. Neighbors even had cameras and said, "What's that noise?" We said, "It's our dog." He said, "I thought your dog was dead." Can't say it wasn't. Unless, somebody had some really cruel freaking sound equipment in our home. But it would have had to be some really good shit to make that up. I had a pet pass. And if I ever catch this son of a bitch who did it, whoo. It was my cat, Boots. She was a nice gray and white cat, kind of the runt of the litter type. And she got sick on a Monday, was dead by Wednesday. We still don't know what happened. Somebody said parvo, somebody said this, somebody said that. This day, it's almost about a year later, folks. I'm still hurting. I still want to kick in somebody's door and drag somebody out kicking and fucking screaming over this. Because I still believe somebody came into the house and poisoned her. I still believe it. I still believe it. We got the body. We have it buried in the back. And sure enough, that night, just like she always did, I felt something jump on the bed, curl up, go to sleep. Other things, Every once in a while, you feel a pat on your leg or something. You look down, there's nothing. And I'm going to have a long talk with somebody who did that. Sooner or later, it's going to happen. I get to find out what the hell happened. So, you don't have a lot of time with everybody, folks. And these summers are here to be remembered for a reason. We're not here that long. And whether it's, trips with family, gardening, the beach, changes in weather, changes in family, the weddings, the funerals, the graduations. Time goes by quick, folks. If I would have told you 8 years ago where I would be, you wouldn't believe me. Especially with what's going on globally and with the governments and stuff. There's no way in hell or high water. Something's got to change sooner or later, and when it does, your family should be close to you. So, somebody wanted me to put this up because they said, "Are you serious about this?" And I said, "Well, I'm going to find out if I'm serious." And I haven't had a lot of time to do anything. And I'm trying my hardest to be as good as I can be over the situations that have been put over me. And I can't. I can only be so good when people are being so bad and the system is not doing its job. I'm not going to get into that. But I've had a lot of bad people on me for a long list of years now. Now that I'm looking for it, now that I have a lawyer looking, they're like, "Oh, it's not me, it's not me, it's not this, it's not that. Oh well, it's not us. We don't do this, we don't do that. Blah 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 blah." So prepping for summer is very important, folks. You don't know who's going to be there, who's not going to be there, and we're here 1 minute, we're gone the next, folks. Say only the good die young. I've come close several times in my youth, a few more in my early adulthood. I shouldn't have too many before my life is nice and even, steady, and happy again. I still believe after the one that got away has her kids and her kids are grown up, that I still have a shot. I still believe that, all heart and soul. I don't know where that's going to go. It's probably not. She doesn't even visit her family regularly anymore. And this world's bad. The only thing I can really say is if you're prepping for summer, make sure you're taking care of those that are closest to you. And that your people aren't out there being stupid to others. Because when this is over, folks, you can laugh all you want about saying, "Oh, that person is this, that person's that, they need to go to jail, they need to go here, they need to go there, we believe in the banking system, government relation, life, End of the life, when you're getting ready to close your eyes, and I've done it several times just to have it rebooted. That's it. You're going beep, 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 and you feel that peace. And all that happens. That's it. So if you're prepping for summer, prep for peace. Do your gardening, get your stuff together, pack some food away, just in case shit does happen a little bit. Electricity does go out for a little while. I'd say, I've always believed, there are a certain number of days in the week pack one set of food, you know, or one like big thing of water per family member per day of the week. You know, if you get like a water bottle from Costco, like the Ice Mountain or whatever, they come in a 24 pack. An optimal number for that would be 7 per family member. A normal level would be 1 because you can use a water bottle a day as long as you're not moving. You can take a washcloth, wipe yourself down with it as long as you pour it on it a little bit at a time. Lather up the soap. Everything else. Rinse yourself off, etc. And then you can drink half of it throughout the day. So there's that. Duffel bags of food, canned goods, whatever you're going to have. Get about, I'd say, 7 of those per person. 3 minimal. They're calling for rolling blackouts. They're calling for all kinds of stupid shit, especially if you're in the Texas area and shit's hitting the fan over there. It is what it is, folks. Thank you for watching.